Antarctica, a land of eternal ice and deadly silence. For decades, the world was told it's just a frozen desert, a wasteland of ice and penguins. But the satellites, they see something else. Deep beneath 2 miles of solid ice, in the darkest corners of the South Pole, there is a massive heat signature. Something is alive under the frost. Something is burning with the heat of 1,000 suns. Scientists call it a geological anomaly, but the military, they call it a site of interest. Ask yourself, why is the most guarded place on Earth a place where no one is allowed to go and no one can survive? Let us go back to 1946. Admiral Richard Byrd took a massive fleet of ships, 13 ships, and nearly 5,000 men to Antarctica. It was called Operation High Jump. It was supposed to be a 6-month scientific mission, but it ended in a disaster, and they returned in just 8 weeks. Byrd's official report was terrifying. He spoke of craft that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. He spoke of an entrance to a world beneath the ice. Since that day, the records of what he saw have been classified. Is it possible that the Archive of Ages isn't just a building? Is it possible it is an entire civilization thriving in the warmth of the Earth's core while we shiver on the surface? Now, let's look at the evidence that science cannot explain. The Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513. It shows the coastline of Antarctica with perfect accuracy. But here is the problem. It shows the coast without ice. How did an ancient mapmaker know the shape of a land that has been buried under ice for millions of years? Unless it hasn't been millions of years. Unless humans were living there, building cities and recording history when Antarctica was green. We are walking over the frozen rooftops of our own ancestors, and they left behind more than just stone. They left behind power. In the center of this frozen continent lies Lake Vostok, a body of water that hasn't seen the sun in an eternity. NASA has found a magnetic anomaly here, so powerful, it disrupts their instruments from space. Whistleblowers who worked on the secret drilling sites speak of metallic ruins. Giant structures made of a material that doesn't exist on our periodic table. And then, there is the pulse, a steady, rhythmic vibration like a heartbeat. The archive is waking up. As the ice melts, the frequency is getting stronger. It is calling out. It is a signal. But who is it signaling? And what happens when they answer? Why are world leaders, from the Pope to the heads of major nations, suddenly flying to the South Pole? There are no cities there, no resources to trade. Yet they go in secret. They go to see the truth that is melting out of the ice. They go to see the archive. We are told the ice is melting because of the climate. But what if the archive is melting the ice because it is time for the world to remember? The clock is ticking. The structures are becoming visible. Giant pyramids, metallic domes, and tunnels that go deeper than we ever thought possible. The world is changing. The secrets of the South Pole will no longer be secrets. We are approaching a moment of truth that the powers of this world have tried to hide for a century. When the gates of the archive finally open, will we be ready for what comes out? Or will we realize that we were never the masters of this planet? We are just visitors, living on the crust of a world that belongs to someone else. The ice is screaming. The pulse is rising. Subscribe to stay in the light before the archive goes dark.